So good morning and welcome aboard active traders to our trading week ahead broadcast, serving over 5,700 traders as of this morning. We finally broke, yay, the 5,700 resistance mark. So we're over 5,700 who registered for these. Here's an interesting small trade, just a few $100s. This is how I start off my swing trades, is usually more size than this because I'm skeptical about the market. I'm doing small size. In my pot stocks, I'm in Canopy Growth and Cron. I sold Tilray after a winning run up a couple of days ago in the market after it did or as it was doing the 5-point run. Anyway, I start off small and then I scale in from here. So that's a trade that I got filled here, and I'm still holding it. I didn't sell into the resistance because it was only up, $100 or whatever. So when I swing trade, I want to do so for a minimum $500 to $800 profit. So if I'm only unrealized P&L is only $100 or $200, dang, I'll let it ride. Just a reminder, I've got a special going on through tomorrow for my live room at 3winningmonths.com. I also have a open house day tomorrow in the live room, and the link is in the chat text box. So if you, in your GoToWebinar link, there'll be a little icon arrow that says chat. If you click on that, it'll open up the chat window and you can see the link to both this and the open house that I'm doing on Monday. And just a reminder, all of my live room members, we are going to be using that link instead of our normal one on Monday only. So anyway, lots of stuff we'll be covering. Let's go ahead and get, and I'm a guy who traded over 7,600 real money live trades this year to date, and almost 9,000. Actually, the numbers are higher now. This was as of the 31st, so I'm sure this number is over 9,000 trades in the last year. So I'm a very active professional, and I've learned a lot. No other educator in the entire world has this much experience that I've seen. No other day trading educator can prove that they did 7,000 trades this year. Can they? I didn't think so. And I like having big up days. So for me, anything over $800 is a good day for a day trade. Anyway, let's get underway here. I wanted to introduce you to our session today. And there we go. Okay, so we're on air. Great to see so many of you here, and I hope that y'all are doing well. For all of you who are just logging in, or those of you who are returning back, and again, all information is for educational use only. I'm not making any advice about what to buy, sell, or hold, etc. That's me, a trading maniac. It's what I do. What are you guys trading? Type in a ticker, something either you traded last week, maybe your favorite trade, or something that you're considering for the upcoming week ahead. And I'd like to see at least a couple hundred responses in here. Hey, Fernando. I get a $2.95 commish out of Fidelity because I trade so much. I negotiated down from $4.95 to $3.95. They had me on for a while, and the more thousands of trades I did, I negotiated down to $2.95. So you can negotiate with your broker often, depending on how many thousands of trades you make. I was shocked to see that Ameritrade charges $6.95 a side. I'm like, wow, really? Mostly I have historically used interactive brokers because it's around $2 a side. So IB is my #1 brokerage of choice. Fidelity is a close second. They're actually really good for active trading. They got they've done thousands of trades in their trade workstation, and it works great. So anyway, enough of an ad for the brokers. Let's get on with it. The S&P did finally break that 50 SMA at the 2950. The street's expecting upcoming volatility, and you can see with the market right near the 30-30 mark, it's widely expected we'll see a 25 basis point rate cut from the Fed Chief Powell coming up on the 17th and 18th, which is a week from this upcoming Tuesday and Wednesday. So the markets may go back into sideways consolidation after a quick fake out and then crash, or just a straight crash or whatever, or a big rally, whatever the market decides it wants to do. It's likely to be a little suppressed volatility between now and the Fed release coming up mid-month. We had a soft jobs report yesterday. The other economic data point is that Fed release, and then the China trade meeting early in the next month. But we can't wait for that. We need to figure out where the money's. Show me the money. So let's show you the money. Good charts are as follows. You may want to keep an eye on MGI. I don't know how many of you are small cap scans members who got this alert, but this was an alert that I gave to my small cap scans members last week. Another winning alert. I have so many dozens of winning alerts every month. It's just enthusiastic members. So I appreciate all of you for being loyal and being with me. We finally broke the 5 yesterday. That's a good chart. MGI. It's fine to swing trade small caps that have consistent charts like this. It's really stupid to day trade small caps under $10. Day trading stocks under $10 is for morons. And misleading hucksters are out there claiming to make a fortune trading small caps. Asked to see their tax returns like I've shown. Any vendor claiming to make thousands of dollars a day better damn well show me their $44.98 for proof, and you won't see that from any of these guys who are making those claims. So caveat emptor. The trading education industry, like Obi-Wan Kenobi said about Mos Eisley Spaceport, you'll never see a more wretched hive of scum and villainy. So be sure that the people you learn from have proof to back up what they're saying, and not just screen caps and brokerage accounts, but tax return proof. That's important. Honestly, that's very important. Anyway, Wendy's. I haven't eaten there for a long time, but stock's doing great. 45-degree angle breakout. Nice run off the base here off the 200 SMA or 18 up to 23. 5-point run on a $20 stock. That's a good play. And this is one that my swing scans members got last week. So I'm giving you examples of charts that my alert services have provided the week after so that you could see how much you could have made potentially had you actually traded these things. Pier 1 is that one that I bought on a excuse me, on a bounce play yesterday. What I like about this market is we got outstanding trading ranges. Sorry, my voice is shot. The Pier 1 imports looks like a dog of a stock, right? It went from just under 200 a share all the way down to under 10. But we had a high volume bounce yesterday, so we kind of zoom in on that and see Pier 1. I believe I had mentioned that one for you guys last week. Again, apologize about my voice. I've been doing so much broadcasting and video production. Little voice is dropping out. Not much I can do about it. And in front of all these smart traders too. Well, good to see you guys here. Anyway, Pier 1, a good play as well. Keep an eye out for bounces and instruments like TVIX, which is starting to look really cheap down here. I know one of the talking heads on CNBC YouTube video, Smart Guy too, on Fast Money had said, he keeps talking about how the VIX is far down from where we expect, and he said 30 or so would be a reasonable target for the VIX, so likely double from here. So the good thing about trading these instruments, even though they're a bit distressed right now, I'm in this and slightly underwater. I think anything under 20, big picture, is a bargain for TVIX. So if it does bounce, the price that proves it wrong is the 1270 52-week low. And you've got also bounce opportunities in instruments like SQQQ. That's when I bought a little bit of on, I believe it was Thursday. I bought right near the day's low. I kept going down a little bit, but the reason is we're right near support. For all of you who are pivot traders, which you should be in this market because that's how the market is traded, right? If you look at the S&P, you can see it's very much throughout August a range-bound buy support, sell resistance, buy support, sell resistance, buy support, sell resistance, ping-ponging back and forth between key S and R levels. Now that we broke the R1 level of the 50 SMA at 2950, we're not yet over the 3,000. That's the upcoming technical hurdle the S&P's got to climb over. But I'm still kind of a skeptic. I think this has been a market of false breakouts, and my expectation is that And again, I could be wrong. I don't predict. I react. That's what I do. I'm a trader. But I'd be keen to start scaling in on the inverse ETFs if we lose that. And this is very valuable, probably the most important thing I'll say today. Look for scaling into, if you're not in yet, or initiating new positions. Again, I'm not giving trading advice. This is for educational chart pattern training. But if our S&P loses 2950, that's a key institutional high-frequency trading algo / dark pool. You'll see iceberg orders start to melt and work in if we lose that 2950, which is very possible coming up this upcoming week. If we break over 3000, that's a key resistance level. Next stop 3030, which would be the R3. So the point is, in a market condition like that, it makes sense to focus on not only breakout continuations and instruments that are running, but pivots, because we're at support, right? The neat thing about that is, for pivot traders, if you buy something that's near a 52-week low, which is usually admittedly a risky proposition, it'll usually keep going down a little bit just to shake everyone out and then spike if it's going to. So we're at support here if we do break out, especially if you see 2 green candle days in a row on high volume at higher prices, bouncing off support. That's often a good play, right? A good example of that pattern can be found in the MJ ETF, which I am trading. And the reason for that is this is the pot stock ETF, one of several. YOLO's another, and I think Hexo's the other one, or THCX, that's the other one. But anyway, we got a nice pivot here. It's not a hammer quite, but we got a bullish lower shadow, and we're bouncing off the 23 previous low. So that's a key support level. And so we may well see an upside move. Exit target would be up near 32. Whenever you're buying pivots, you buy off support, you don't get in too soon. Wait for at least 2 or 3 green candle days, which we have. So that's good. We got 2 green candle days, Thursday and yesterday. Exit target 1 at least will be your 200 SMA, because everyone else, that's what they use, right? That's what the Wall Street institutional traders use, is your 50, 100, and 200 SMA. So that's a good potential pivot play. I'm currently also long in Canopy Growth that I bought last Friday, and that's in the money. I bought some CRON Friday. I was going shopping for pot stocks last week because I thought they were oversold. And I was right. And I got it exactly right, which is rare, but I got my Tilray. And thanks to my trader Barry, I put in the order like into the close because it looked like surely it couldn't. And that's like the first time I traded Tilray in like 2 months. But after this big of an epic sell-off, I bought some into the close. It ran up. I sold into this breakout here because it was just a gift, right? Whenever you're swing trading, you get 3, 4, 5 points in your favor. Take the money and run. You can always re-enter, like close that chapter of your trade profitably, take the money and run. You can always rebuy a new high on a day or two later. And sure enough, the next day did a mean reverting pullback, a mean reversion. You may have seen my stocks and commodities articles where I teach that and in my other services. But anyway, mean reverting pullback continued to run up. I did not buy this high breakout. I want to see instead if we're able to hold above this resistance over the 32.50. So I'm going to buy again if it gets over 34. I'm a breakout trader in our pot stock. So anyway, good volatility and good liquidity in these. My live room members got a winning alert in Canopy Growth yesterday during its open range breakout. Let me know if any questions too. Hopefully I'm not doing too much selling, and I'm not trying to sell you guys overpriced $2,000 and $3,000 and $5,000 hoo-ha like my competitors do. I'm a bargain. Let's see. Speaking of which, we'll get back to that in just a minute. I've got a free open house coming up Monday, and if you're already registered, great. You'll get the link from GoToWebinar automatically. If not yet, go to trademastery.com/TTO free. That's for trading the open free. And that will give you, the link is in the chat box. Also, if you want to join as a member, I've got a current special on, I think it's like 3 months for $297. That's half off the regular $197 a month rate. And for that, you get 30 hours a month with me. I'm often doing live real money trading. I go step by step through entries and exits, and I explain them very professionally and very clearly. I'm an expert tape reader, so I teach how to use tape reading the right way. And we've got tons and tons of winners to learn from. So, and lots of testimonials and all kinds of good stuff. So, and unlike anyone else out there, I give you guys a watch list each morning with specific price entries for longs and shorts with the best charts. So we got our focus list, and these are examples of the kind of tickers we like to cover, like Snap, AMD, Symantec, Yelp, V-Ray, whatever. We cover a variety of different things, and I walk people step by step. It's really exciting. I've been running the room for just over 20 years now, since the year 2000. Running my company since then, since 1999. So anyway, join me for the live room and you can learn a lot. Anyway, back to it. We're going to wrap up in just a minute. This is my classic, almost best, almost favorite. It would be my favorite pattern if this was in a continuous uptrend. We got a 45-degree angle breakout in the previous trading day. You've got a small 50 or 80 cent, up to 50 or 80 cent, very small gap in the current day. You just simply buy the new high breakout. And I like to go long right over whole numbers. So that's, I had alerted my members to this over the 27, and I had us get out right under the 28. So the round trip on day trades should be, again, you may have seen my stocks and commodities article as Twitter as an example. You buy like 20 or 30 cents above a whole number, and then you sell it to 80 or 90 cents beneath the nearest whole number up. And that's a really good day trading open range breakout strategy for round trips. Another strategy you may want to consider is intraday swing trading. And that's where you put on a trade early in the morning and let it ride throughout the day and close out the position right near the closing bell. So we've got pivots in instruments like our pot stocks. We've got breakouts. Now's a good time to tighten up trailing stops on any gold positions or get out of gold because it's starting to sell off with the market rally, right? There's Nugget. I'm in the opposite chart, the dust chart, and that may be good for a pivot. DUST is inverse gold. So if the stock market starts to rally or continues to rally, DUST would be a good play because it's an inverse gold instrument. Gold goes up when the market goes down. When the market goes up, gold goes down. So when the market goes up, the inverse gold ETF also goes up, like Dust and JDST, I think is another one. So, hey Mark, let's see. Can I show gold? Sure. Well, the main one that I trade and teach traders about is Nugget. I got a lot of small cap golds. Here's a few, like HMY is one, Yamana Gold's another, AUY is another. But all the gold instruments, Eldorado Gold is another. These are all earlier picks that my small cap scans members got. I'm clicking through the small cap scans, picks from earlier weeks. Anyway, but gold is starting to slow down. So unless the S&P loses that 50 SMA support here, and especially if it loses the 100, but if it starts to wind back down here, then gold will go back up. But we have to follow what the evidence is telling us. And the evidence is telling us that the market is currently breaking out to new highs. So it makes sense to tighten up stops on any current gold position or swing trades and not to re-enter gold unless the market loses support, which I don't see any evidence of yet. Gold will rally if the market sells off, but in the meantime, you want to lock in your profits. That's what I do. You know, if something's in your favor by a few points and you're up, you know, however many hundreds or 1,000 or 2,000 or whatever in a trade, if it starts to pull back, go to cash. You can always rebuy if it takes out new highs. It's a lot of new members. Thanks, folks. A lot of better strategies to use. So you always have to think about trading the markets first and individual stock charts secondary. So I think that will wrap us up for the week. Wanted to thank all of you for being here. We've got oil up and down. I trade both UWT and DWT for oil, and I trade dust versus nugget for that. So I think we'll wrap up. A quick last note here. The link for the live room, the special I've got running, which ends tomorrow, I'll probably extend it for those who are there live for the live room open house on Monday. So I guess Monday's the hard deadline. But anyway, tomorrow or the next day, this special goes away. You go to 3winningmonths.com, and that'll take you to the page at the Trading Open site that has a special. So do join me for that. Try it out. It's only $2.97. And by the way, I do not sell software. I do not sell special magic indicators. I don't sell scanning plug-in settings. I don't do any of that crap. I'm just a real trader that teaches the world's traders how to trade based on price action using any charting software you want. That's another benefit of my live room compared to other people. Trading Open is use whatever you want. I like eSignal, but there's a lot of great charting software out there like Ninja or Metastock or TradeStation or Thinkorswim or Tasty Trade or whatever charting software you use is fine. Welcome to, I don't sell charting software. So let's see. Yeah, the Monday open house link is in the chat box. So hey, you too, Long. Have a great weekend. You're welcome. Hey, good to hear it, Mike, on the euro dollar. Good to hear about options. Hey, Glenn. Hey, Richard. This week, range-bound trading after initial day startup open range. Hey, Marcelo. On W, look like a bearish engulfing. How far can I retrace before heading up? Whenever I look at evaluating success for my or failure for my swing trades, I've had a lot of success and failure, a lot of both. I always use a 2-day low is usually a place that I'll start scaling out of a trade for something going against me, and a 2-day high, multiple green candles 2 or 3 days in a row up before I scale in. So I'm really conservative in my trading approach. That's the right way to trade. Hey, Fernando, good to hear you made money in the TQs but lost on ZS. I'm not familiar with ZS. I think that's about it. Hey, Mark. Hovnanian. I recognize that ticker. Trader saying HOV looks good. Okay, let's pull that up. We got to do our swing scans is coming up. We've got much better charts and more detailed, in-depth technical training on that. Yeah, HOV looks good. Thanks, man. Appreciate it. I'll add that to my list. I would trade that. I'd hit that. Yeah, thanks. Thanks, Mark. That's absolutely a tradable instrument. So note to self, trade that. Personally, not a trade recommendation, blah, 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 but I'd trade it over, say, 1430 or so, right? Yeah, that's good. That's a good chart, man. Usually following this kind of an acceleration ramp, you get a mean reversion pullback here and then a slingshot up. So this is that market. It's like a difficult person where you've got these false breakouts that pull back and then it runs up. Or oftentimes in our current market, ascending triangle patterns have worked out quite often. I found in the live room. Got an ascending triangle breakouts. Gap continuations are very hit and miss right now, and mostly miss for small caps. You don't really see many gap and goes in the under $10 stocks like the biotechs. They run up pre-market and they sell off in market. So that doesn't do as much good unless you're trading pre-market, which is risky because you can't put in automatic trailing stops. So I don't like trading pre-market unless I've got a really good reason. But yeah, that's a great chart, Mark. Thanks, man. Appreciate it. Hey, Fernando, the link should be there. Well, just go to the front of the trademastery.com site and scroll down a bit, and there's a link to where it says the Monday open house. So just go to trademastery.com, scroll down a little bit, and on the right, there's a link for these events, the Trading Week Ahead, and right next to it, there's an orange button, a link for the free Monday. Or just send me a support ticket, and I'll send it to you personally. So anyway, thanks so much to all of you for being here. I appreciate it.